You get to training, hit a couple of long range passes, crack off a couple of shots here and there. Also hold quad and hamstring stretches, all within the first 10 minutes of actually arriving. But today I'm going to show you why you perhaps shouldn't do that, and instead show you how to effectively warm up before you've even got your boots on and foot on the ball. So the goal of this particular warm up is to start off nice and slowly, prepare the body for movement, and then progressively over the course of 10 minutes, increase intensity so that you are ready to put on your boots, grab a ball and start pinging the passes and cracking off the shots.
Nice.
All right, let's get into it.
All right, so whether you're joining me from a field or from the comfort of your own home, it's important to know that you can essentially do these exercises wherever you find a bit of space. I've set up cones 10 paces apart, and we're going to start by just getting a nice gentle jog through. Just loosen up the legs, get the blood pumping around the body. Making your way back to the start, just loosen up the arms, continue to jog through, and we'll repeat that again, just back and forth. Alright, once we're back to the start, we're going to come to some high knees. So you're just going to go one direction with this. So lifting up the knees to the halfway point. Once you get to the halfway, we'll turn around and we'll get a jog back. Nice, and we'll repeat that just one more time. Nice and light on your toes. Loosen the shoulders. And back to the beginning. Alright, up next we have the karaoke. So quite a bit of coordination needed for this one, so don't worry if you mess up. But essentially you just want to get the torso shifted nice and loosely opposite to the legs. Coming through to the cones and returning. Just going to do this twice. Changing sides on that second time through. The goal is to be light on your toes with a little bit of a bounce in your step. Back at the start, we're going to come to some alternate knee drives. So high on your tippy toes, driving the knee through. Again, pairing this with the arms. You want to keep the abs engaged as you drive that knee through to the chest. Once you get to the far side, you're going to jog back to the beginning and we'll go again. This time just injecting a little bit more intention, more energy into this movement. Driving through. Nice and light on your feet. Once we get to the end, we're going to turn and jog back to the beginning. Alright, moving over to some dynamic stretches here. We're going to repeat all of these exercises just one time through, so there and back, starting with a knee hug. So bringing that knee into the chest with a nice little shimmy in between. We're going to alternate between legs. The reason why we're just holding it for a millisecond here is because we want to ensure we're moving in a dynamic way, preparing for movement, as opposed to a static stretch, which is better for either rest or recovery. Alright, back to the start. Now we come on to lawn bowls. This is a great hamstring exercise. Going to start by leaning on the back foot and extending the front leg, sweeping the hands through as you feel that stretch on the back of the legs. Turn around and make your way back, again still stretching that hamstring. Back at the start, we're going to come on to two exercises here. One way we're going to go with straight kicks, nice and casual, and once we get to the halfway point, we're going to turn it around and start to open up the hips. Alright, starting with a kick. Just going to time this, get a twist in the torso as the leg comes through. The halfway point, we turn around, change to that lateral movement, shimmying from side to side, keeping your core nice and engaged through this. Standing super tall. Back at the beginning, we're going to come to figure of four. This is a nice glute stretch. Just going to hold it again for a millisecond before getting that nice little shimmy in between. Really trying to work on the balance. Keeping the back straight, chest facing forwards. And the more you push that knee down, the further you're going to feel the stretch. Once we're back to the start, we're going to come to a shallow squat. So getting a shimmy in between, and don't worry about going too low in this position. We'll get some squats a little bit later. This is just to get the movement down and in our bodies. At the halfway point, we'll turn around, come back the same way. Nice and light on your feet. Next up, we have the touchbacks. So again, coming into coordination, this is great for building some knee strength. So the quadriceps, the front of the legs, as well as the hamstrings and the glutes are involved in this movement. Turning around and we come back the same way. Once we're back at the start, we're coming back to that alternate knee drives, picking up the intensity a little bit. Just driving that knee through, keeping that posture upright, getting the arms involved. At the halfway point, just give it a shake off before returning with those knee drives. Again, nice and light on your toes, allow that speed to come through. Once we're back at the beginning, that's when we come into our dynamic march. So very similar exercise, however we're not going to pause in between. And this is where we get to focus on that symmetry, bringing the arms into play and timing it with the legs. It's a really good exercise to get the hips mobilized and also the heart rate up. Talking about heart rate, we're now coming into the cardio and agility phase of this warm-up. So starting with the toe shuffles, we're going to remain on the spot. We're going to go for 20 seconds for each of these exercises. Starting high, you're going to get low and shimmy side to side, activating the quads, the glutes, also the abs as well. You can see how I'm timing it with the arms as they come through. That's going to allow me to stick my bum out and distribute my weight. Shake it off and we're going to do some lateral hurdles. Going to touch twice on each side, shifting the legs up and over, trying to keep your head centered. Pumping the knees. Good. Remaining on your tippy toes throughout. Again, shake it off before coming to front hurdles, leading with the right leg. Coming over a small hurdle, allowing that back leg to also come up and over. It's very easy to allow that to just sort of drag through. It's important that we move that with intention, just like that front foot. That's it, keep pushing and relax. We're going to change legs here. Moving on to the left side. Still trying to keep that focus. Important to keep the core engaged as well. Really try and fire up your abs and activate the arms. Keep pushing and relax. Good stuff. Gonna do a bounce squat now, starting high, coming low, getting down into that squat with a little bit of a pulse at the bottom. Really good for agility. Trying to stay light on your toes. You'll feel the burn in the front of the legs. Try and get some nice small touches with the toes. Nice work. Now we move over to the power phase, the last phase of this workout. We're going to start with an opening gait and then we'll reverse it at the halfway point. So with power, we are going to pick up the intensity, getting ready for this training session, shifting from side to side. Excellent work. Let's reverse it now, turning the head, getting a little look over the shoulder. This is really good practice for making sure we're aware of what's around us. Back at the start, we're going to close the gait. So a little bit more coordination for this one. Just up and over. Imagine lifting it over hurdles, trying to time it with your arms. All right, back at the start, we're going to do some lateral drives. So we're going to face the same way for these 4 exercises. First, leading with the right leg, going to lift it up and over, keeping the left leg nice and low to the ground, pumping the arms. Moving on to the left foot as we work our way back. Core super strong here. Back at the start, we're going to stay with the left leg and we're going to come to a cross drive. So this time up and over. And you really want to try and stamp that foot down. Work the hip flexors. The halfway point, we'll switch to the right leg, come back. Excellent work. Keep that concentration. And we're back at the start for long strides. It's the last exercise. We're just going to do 2 times through. So nice and light on your toes. Drive in, trying to activate the glutes. Once we get to the end, we're just going to turn and walk back. And this time through, we're just going to be even more on our toes just to finish with the last exercise. Fantastic. Good stuff, guys.
So there we are. Should be nice and warm, ready for your training session. If you want to work on some agility drills, getting better at navigating the cones, then I'd recommend watching this video. It's going to help you transform your dribbling ability with just a couple of key points. So give that a watch and let me know what you think. Good stuff.